Hey guys, it's Trevor Laird here, and welcome back to this week's edition of Nimera Talk. Now, of course, everyone's asking out there, is the bull run for crypto over? We're going to talk about that. As well, next week will be the recording of the AMA with the Nimera CEO, Andrew Zamin. So we're going to talk about the questions that you guys submitted and what will be asked. So let's not delay anymore, and let's get started. Now, first things first, I want to give everyone a quick reminder about the exchange from EON to Nion. I get a lot of DMs from you guys on Discord asking, do I have a week to change over my EON? Is this going to become a problem for me? The answer is no. So the team has thought this through, and they want to make sure that there is no rush and that everyone has their opportunities to change EON over to Nion. Now, if you did not catch last week's video or you do not know how to do that, you have to transfer your EON into channels, and I'll show you guys a quick video right now of how to do that. So we're going to open up channels, and you'll see right on the main exchange page, you can do EON to Nion at a rate of 1-to-1 and just click on exchange. Then you could enter an amount in here. We'll start with 500, and you will see we'll get 500 Nion CH for that. That's Nion channels. At this point, we're just going to click fix rate. Now that we've done that, it's going to confirm the transaction, and it gives us a minute and a half to confirm that transaction, and then we just click generate. And now we can see our transaction is heading to the network and should be done within a few minutes. So pretty easy stuff there to change them over. And as far as trading them, coming up very, very soon, the team has assured me that we will soon see the Nion trading pairs appear on the exchange and the swap. Now, as you guys know, we have a very exciting AMA coming up next week. I think it's a critical one because not only do we have all of this turmoil happening with the bull market in crypto, but we also have a massive transition happening within this project, both with multi-broker coming live, for EON changing over to Nion. There's lots going on. So you guys have actually submitted the most questions we've ever got for an AMA. And I think that that's a good thing to take pause on, to note that there's way more interest happening. There's just excellent questions. We got lots, like 30, 40 questions, even more than that probably, because a lot of those, there's a lot of duplicates on top of that. So a lot of people had the same ideas. If you took all those, it's probably almost 50 questions, including the duplicates. So you guys had a lot of different questions. Now, generally, we have about an hour to do these things, and trust me, guys, getting a stable connection for that long, it's it's tricky. But we were able to pull it off many times before, and this one is going to be no different. So we've got 14 questions in there. Now, a lot of these questions are pretty thick. We eliminate questions like, when moon, and like the very, what do you think about X? I think right now it's important to focus just on the meat and the hearty questions, the ones that have lots of detail that you guys want to get answers to. So what we'll do right now is we'll go over just a couple of the questions to give you guys an example of what to expect. So we'll just start with some of these randomly. We're going to ask Andrew, and I have my laptop here, guys, just because I can't remember all of these. Is the team planning to combine channels and the exchange accounts into one? It would be great to have the same wallet and KYC for both services, much easier for new users to join one service rather than multiple. So we want to get the details on that. Another question that I felt was really excellent was this person said, a tool is nothing without its user. You made claims of partnerships and NDAs recently. What is the state of these current partnerships, and what can we expect in the future? Do you have any real information, names, or dates? So it seems like a bit of a spicy, hard-hitting question, but really, Andrew has mentioned that they have partnerships coming up in the past, but hasn't given us full details on those partnerships. And I think that this user represents many users in asking, who are these partners and when can we expect to see them? Another one here that was kind of similar, but different in its own way, was multi-broker is great on paper, but is Nimera planning to list on Binance, Kraken, or any other big exchange in a functional way anytime soon? Please provide details. So again, we want to know, when are we listing on another exchange? Will it be just an ERC20 token? What's going to happen after that? When can we expect the actual chains to be integrated, and who can we expect to be partnered with? So I think these are great questions relating to the expandability and partnerships of Nion and the ecosystem. Another senior member user, or somebody who's been around right from the beginning, asks, I'd like to know whether there'll be any information released regarding the financial health of the company. How long can Excudo continue to operate without profits? Is there any way we get a sense of whether or not it's continuing to work investing within the company or not? These are, again, they're hard-hitting questions that we're including this time, but I think it's important. There's a lot going on right now, and we need to get to the bottom of all of these concerns in order to make investors feel secure about the future of the project. So guys, that should give you a quick look into the kind of questions we're going to be asking. As you can see, these are not filler, fluff, anything like that. These are hard-hitting questions, but they're your questions, and they're questions that not only do you want answered, but the future investors that we have that we want to attract, they're going to want to see these questions answered, and we will have that all on paper after this AMA. Now, of course, that's going to happen next week, like I said, in Phoenix. I got a great office secured with very high-speed internet, so we should have a nice, smooth connection. Now, guys, before we go over to the health check and market news, I want to quickly discuss what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. If you're new to cryptocurrency and you have not seen a bull run before, this was a pretty crazy bull run that we had. This is multiple times in the past where people just really get going into crypto. They get very excited. They start buying. They're not really looking. They're just buying. And of course, this has huge risks associated with it. So when you see a correction like this, it could be triggered by, in the crypto space, in my experience, it could be triggered by bad news from a country, like, perhaps China says they're going to investigate Bitcoin more, or you'll have the US have some regulation, or you'll have some eccentric billionaire say that he's not going to accept Bitcoin until they're more environmentally friendly. There's a lot of things that can happen in this space, and once it triggers a bit of a buy cycle, since people were so emotional to their buy-in, they're quite emotional for their sell-out. Now, traditionally, these type of dips have recovered very, very strongly, and they do present a good opportunity. If you are a buy the dip type of person, this could be a good opportunity for you. But the whole idea here is, let's look at the big picture. Just because crypto has these wild swings of volatility, where it's still a baby. Like, the whole idea of cryptocurrency is still a baby. It's going to have big swings, but these could also lead to certain opportunities. But what this also means for our project is, and I was talking to a few people about this morning, is that we can't just count on people just throwing in, oh, Nion's a brand new cryptocurrency, oh, it's a proof of time, good idea. We got to have some real information here, some real reasons why the long term of the project is going to be worth it for them in the long term. And I think the team is working on that. Not working within a bull run is actually a good thing, because it forces us to really, really focus on our roots of what makes this project really worth it. And then when the bull run does happen, man, it could take off incredibly, incredibly fast, as we've seen in the past. But yeah, let's not go on with that anymore. It's time for the Nimera Ecosystem Health Check and market news. Now, starting out with the health check, everything is looking good. Nothing major to report except for planned maintenance on the 18th. Moving on to the swap, our volume for the week was 10,200 euros, which is actually down quite a bit from what it was over the last few months. But of course, that's because of the reduction in trading pairs around EON and the fact that a lot of our volume is being traded back and forth on there. Total liquidity so far on the swap for the week is at 88,268. Now, fees paid to people who stake within the swap was 51 euros this week. Again, these numbers are down, which will probably not really jump back up until we see the Nion pairs being traded. And in top spot for the swap, we had DIA, USDC, and Uni. Now, quickly jumping over to our EON BTC pool, we have the price of EON pegged at 112 Satoshis, and that equates to about 890,000 EON per BTC. Now, one interesting thing to note here is we've had a pretty steady rise up for the price of EON, especially with the anticipation of Nion, but this correction that we've had within the global markets has barely really affected us too much. We're still on an overall upward trend. Now, if you're looking to buy more EON, there's not a lot left in the system still. We're down to 53,000 EON within the swap, and on the other inverse side, about 0.06 BTC. Now, moving over to the main exchange, we did not have enough volume there on our EON pair, but what we're really waiting for right now, to be honest, guys, and I've talked to the team about this, it's going to be very, very soon, is to get our brand new Nion trading pairs in there, and those will be coming very, very, very quickly, and we'll start to reestablish this market. One thing I do want to note quickly on the main exchanges, if you go over to the exchange tab here and then do click Binance, we've added a whole bunch of additional pairs there, and these will be all functioning very, very soon. And as you can tell, automatically that gives us basically unlimited liquidity to tap into. Now guys, it's time to move over onto our global market news over the last 7 days. All the prices you see are in US dollars. So what we see here is a nice big dip on BTC. This was furthering a correction that happened last week. We know that Bitcoin over the course of the last 2 months has bounced off the 60,000 range for its all-time high. So what you're really seeing here is almost a 50% total correction from the highest peak within the bull market. Now, this is not unusual behavior within the Bitcoin space. We've seen it jump up. We've seen it jump from 1,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20, then to 25, and then back down to 10 to 9. This is not unusual behavior for it. If you are a person who's holding, then I would, this is all personal opinion, guys, but definitely this is a good opportunity to hold. And if we use a bit of past performance, which is not always a dictator, but it does give us an idea, then now is generally a time to diversify and to buy a few different assets if you see something that is depreciated quite a bit. Now, BTC has actually weathered the storm better than most here. If we look at the entire trend line here, we have BTC on 7 days down 27%, but Ethereum, Dogecoin, we could expect that. It's still up a lot, guys. It traded under a cent for like the last 2 years. But Ethereum is surprising me actually a little bit now, taking a bit of a stronger hit. And now my personal opinion on Ethereum is that these type of environments and situations show us the weakness of Ethereum, where its trading fees just skyrocket. Like you're gonna make a trade when a lot of people are selling, you're gonna make a trade and lose like 20% in fees. That's ridiculous. That doesn't help us get towards a better financial future. And I think that you're starting to see that. Bitcoin has a similar weakness, but I think Ethereum itself has stretched the network a little bit thin. But in my personal opinion, what we're going to see is next week, we're going to see quite a bit of people diversifying their portfolio around, and then we're going to start to see a bit of a smoother rise ever since. And that's most likely noted here, where the dominance of BTC is at 47% when it's normally around 50 or 60. So people are spreading their money out into multiple projects. Well, guys, that's all I have for you for this week. If this is your address above me, you won $25 worth of EON. We're going to keep doing the contest until the EON trading stops, because we can't really establish a market price in order to get it right. And then once the Nion trading, everything gets going again, we'll keep the contest going. But for now, we'll keep it running. So today's winner, you can expect your payment in about 7 days on next Sunday. And from last week's winner, you can expect it right after this episode airs. I'll be sending that off to you and posting the result in the Discord under Nimera Weekly. If you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It's required for the contest, but it also helps me and this channel to attract lots of new people to the project. For Nimera Talk, I'm Triple Laird.